Hello people of the earth and welcome to QuickSaveTV. This is Mike and today I'm going to present to you the Bastion game by SuperGiant Games, which was published by Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment. Now, whew, second take just to tell you the names of the companies, very cool. Let's go ahead and start. As you can see, we can start as on normal and no sweat mode, the casual mode. Let's go ahead on normal. Yes, we want to start all over. So, Bastion is the kind of game This kind of games I really love.
The story is supposed to start at the beginning.
Not because they're crazy good, gameplay-wise,
Now here's a kid whose whole world
but rather because of the way they are presented. This is one of those games that holds on its story or design, how I like to call it.
He gets up, sets off for the Bastion.
Whatever you do in this game
In case of trouble.
gets a comment from the storyteller in behind. Majority of the circumstances, whatever you do, he's gonna comment on that. You hit a new enemy, he comments on that. You find a new enemy, he comments on that. You find a new weapon, he comments on that.
Well, it's a touching reunion.
What's happening in this game is we have this crazy design. I'm just gonna go ahead and talk over the guy. I'm gonna make the sound lower so we can compress it a little bit. There has been a catastrophe in place some time ago, okay, called Calamity. Majority of the people in this world, they died. They died in this death that they just stopped, ceased to exist, they became stone. So these things, this is the remnants of the world before, in the past. That what was before, that's the remainder of it. We have, you see, we have stores, we have dead people all over the place. Whenever they died in place, they didn't have time to react or do anything. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to restore the Bastion. Once we find it, I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you. And we just explore the different areas in the game world. We hear the comments from the storyteller. As kid doesn't really talk a lot, we just, we see the storytelling in this manner. We kind of play the game while the storyteller tells us everything connected to what's happening right now, brings it, additional insight into situations and tells us about the game world, what it is about. There's also a lot of gameplay challenges, like, short things like try to survive for, say, 15 waves, right? And each wave, the storyteller will tell you a little bit more about the kid. Or something like, for example, you go ahead, you do things which are not necessary, and again, if you fail, if you succeed, he still gives different comments, which is really interesting to listen to, and this way it actually is kind of, it kind of is, in a way, hack and slash, arcade hack and slash, but not like Diablo, because the controls are, I control the character using WSAD, to move towards different directions, and I use the mouse to attack. Plus I use limitedly Q, I use, space to roll, etc, etc. It's very, very simple, really, and because of the simplicity, it's very easy to start getting adjusted to the game. This is the situation. This is essentially a person who did not survive the calamity, right? The bartender here, he just died like this. He became a stone? Lacking a better way to put it. A nothingness, not even a stone. He just died. And so, slowly as we explore the world as this kid, we find new ammunition, we level up, which unlocks us additional upgrades, which we can unlock from the Bastion, and which is generally, we fight a little bit here, we gather the gold, not the gold, these little fragments, and etc, etc. We just fight against enemies. There's some interesting mechanics, like for example, if you shield right before the enemy strikes at you, you're gonna throw the attack right back at him, okay? That's, and this is very simple, really. This is nothing really unusual, but the programming of the game is pretty solid, very well done, and the game doesn't hold on the gameplay. The game holds much more on the story. You play it because of the story, not because of the gameplay. And because the gameplay is crisp, you don't get frustrated as you play the game, which is amazing. Generally, sometimes the games that have great story value, they're not so enjoyable when you play them, but that's not the case with the Bastion. Bastion is just a well done game in which you kind of enjoy the game. You bash things, you smack and left and right and etc. But at the same time, you really want to find out what happens next. What happened to the kid? Why is he what he is? Why is his hair pale at, he's a kid, goddammit, and why? What happened in the calamity? What are these people? What's his disposition towards them? What was the world before it was destroyed, right? Who is the storyteller? What the hell is his play out in all these circumstances, right? And as you explore slowly all the areas as the kid in this highly interactive gameplay, you just find out more and more about the story, and it's just that's what kept me coming back, continue playing it, etc, etc. It's not the first time I'm playing the game. I actually played it at a friend's house long ago, you know, it's not the first time the game was released. It's just because of thanks to Humble Bundle, it became an opportunity for me to actually review these awesome games. And if you never played this game, you know, you should find a way to obtain it. And of course, if you can afford it, you should, of course you should buy it, you know. That would be great. That would be great if you can afford it. If you cannot, just find a friend and play it on a friend's computer or go to a computer club or whatever, if they have it, would be perfect, you know. And just try these games, because this is the kind of games that push industry forward. This is the games that quickly adapt to the change, because such games with interactive storytelling, there's no analogy of an arcade game with such a storytelling. Bastion is one of a kind game. You totally shouldn't miss it, okay? You have to at least try it. You have to play for a couple of hours, you know, if you consider yourself a gamer, if you want to see how the industry evolves. And right now you have an opportunity to see me play that, but because I constantly talk, you know, I'm trying to describe to you what the game is all about. It's not the same thing, you know. I've been, one of the subscribers actually said that he can understand why the big companies do not want you to play their games, because he said, oh, you know, I've seen you play this game now, and I don't want to play it myself. I disagree, with all due respect. I mean, think about it. The game is not the kind of medium that, you know, is about seeing it. You've seen it, congratulations, who gives a rat's ass? You never played it. You never experienced the way I do right now, playing it, you know, experienced the awesome story in my headphones, just dissolving, forgetting about the issues in the real world and just trying to focus on the story. And then once I finish with this game, you know, I have a lot of new inspiration, new ideas of what I can do, what I cannot do, you know, thinking about the situations at hand, using the inspiration got from the game. Games are art, okay? And the way they are presented is very different from say, a movie or a music, which, and again, music is, you know, it's a long discussion. Anyway, in Bastion, as such, you will slowly explore the world of Bastion, unlock new weaponry, as I said, and etc. As you can see, you can select drinks. They are your passives. The alcoholic drinks, they allow you to get specific bonuses, to have, you know, specific, how to say, passive upgrades, which will help you to play the game. I've selected the one that allows me to gather items at longer range. They're like a magnet kind of thing. They all give different bonuses, like insanely high critical rates when you are deadly hurt. So there's a lot of customizability you might apply. You want to do something like I did right now, to get a useless upgrade, which is kind of like, you know, upgrade for comfort rather than efficiency, or you can go all effectiveness, what I'm always arguing, you know, get effective upgrades when you're playing RPGs. So yeah, anyway, the thing is that there's a lot of things to choose from, and upgrades for the specific things, then challenges with them, with mullets, challenges with the crossbow, challenges with the bow. It's just amazing, you know, it's a lot of fun. We should actually pick it up. Something heavy. Then we upgrade the weaponry, we upgrade the, you know, all these things, we unlock new drinks, and the most importantly, we find out more about the story of this world, which is really interesting. The game setting reminds a lot like something like a Wild West kind of setting, like a Texas thingy, I don't know how to describe. That's what it reminds to me anyway, not that I'm, you know, I'm not all American, I wouldn't know, but that's what it looks to me like, you know. We have a kid with a very difficult story, you know, story of his life, and we kind of play out to find out what happened to him. And he's kind of tough, right? Tough guy, and there's this guys, the way they call them, the scumbags, the gas fellas, you know, this is cool, you know, design-wise. It's unusual at very least. There's not much, how to put it, seriousness or what. It's like all kind of made up on the way. It's like improvised, you know, gas fellas. Why? Because they are made of gas, right? Or scumbags. Why? Because they're baggish things and they're filled with some kind of shit. That's why scumbags, you know. And yeah, picking up the core, and because we take the core, the city starts collapsing. This floating rock in the air starts collapsing. That's the thing we're gonna do a lot in the game. We're gonna hunt for these rocks, for this cores, and this is generally what we do. Everything starts collapsing, and if you fall outside of this thing, you know, you actually die. Of course, the storyteller comments on that, but the thing is that, you know, I like how it's interactive. Even if I die by accident, generally I get frustrated in the game, right? But here, not so much, right? So yeah, anyway, we got to the Bastion. Let me go ahead and zoom
Did
out.
anybody else survive?
I'm just gonna shut up and let you enjoy it.
Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me. We talk for a spell. All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there, then watch. And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again, growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown.
And that is the Bastion. And here we're gonna build new buildings, upgrade the Bastion, which is gonna be our base of operation in a way. Let's go ahead and build a distillery. From now on, we can actually use it from home, from the Bastion, and we can select the drinks we want.
From my personal supply.
As you can see, there are 10 levels, and each level you will be able to unlock additional slots, which are not actually restricted to what you can use. You can use 2 level 1 potions or 10 level, you know, any levels you want, but they slowly unlock, you know. And you're gonna be unlocking new drinks or finding new drinks. I don't actually remember how it works, but the thing is, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Cinder brick stout sure goes down smooth, then stays in your gut like a rock.
And of course, the stranger just knows how to, you know, comment on everything. So this is the Bastion in a nutshell. That's the game. A very creative, unusually designed, very well polished game, a lot of fun to play, with a lot of approach to the gaming situations, which is in essence an arcade game with a great and compelling story, which is really a great time spending. If you could go ahead and try it, that would be really good for you. You know, I can totally recommend it for you. And this was QuickSaveTV with Mike Pushkin here. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel because it helps me immensely. I would really appreciate your support. And go ahead and comment on the video. What's your impressions on the game and what's your opinion? Would you like to buy? Do you enjoy this kind of storytelling in games? And do you think storytelling is important? I thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and bye bye.
I'm farming items and selling them on Real Money Auction House.
To blend together in one never-ending, like a storytelling, you know, and you just the storytelling through the experience.